DaVinci Resolve 19 is finally here with amazing new features to help streamline our workflows. In this video, I want to show you a couple of things that I think will really help us in our everyday workflow. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I want to show you how to zoom in the most impactful way. Okay, so first thing we're doing, let's jump right on in here and get onto the color page. So first thing I'm doing here is I'm going to grab this node here and I'm going to node label. This should become Defocus. Then I need to create my mask. So first thing, let's select better. Maybe I'll just increase that range a bit to refine. I'm going to select myself, the computer monitor in the back. Okay, great. Now that is done. Now we have the tracking. Now we're going to take this node that we're doing the defocus. This has the tracking data on there. So over here, you can see I've already typed it in this effect, so defocus. And then I'm just going to drag that and drop it right on here. So now that's there. And here, let's start. We can look at the mask preview. So you can see the mask. You can refine it if you need to. So like you want to add a little mask blur. Or maybe you want to add some contrast and really try to refine the edge. Yeah, I'm not really too worried about that for the purpose of this video. And you can also invert your mask if you choose to. So let's see how that would be. So that would be invert the mask. You can do that right here. I'm not going to work on any of that. So let's just open these up here. Now effects. So let's see, we have this blur. So as you can see, I can really blur out that background back there. So I don't think we have to go too much, but you know, we're going to use a little bit there for the purpose to show this. Saturation, you can desaturate if you want. You can colorize it, so whatever's back there, if you decide, hey, I don't like that color, I want to change it to, say, red, and then you can drag your colorize, and that's going to add that into there. So right now we're still looking where the mask is. Let me remove that so we don't see that. Okay, so now you can really see the difference here. Of course, my mask, I did not refine it, so all that blue is still there. I'm not going to change color. So now let's look into this for this blur. So with our blur, we also have this. We can do a Gaussian blur. So let's see how that is full strength. You know, Gaussian blur is not the best thing for this. This lens blur gives it more of a natural lens type blur, which I really like in video. Then we have the anamorphism. This is really awesome. So let's decrease the anamorphism. As you can see, it brought it in very tight to give it like an up and down. Now if we drag it all the way to the right, it's going to widen that. So you can really affect and get some very interesting bokeh with your anamorphism, depending on how you want to go about with that. And then this feature is really awesome. So you have the highlights. You know, you get the harshness of those highlights. You know, you can bring that down or you can bring them up, depending on what you're really looking for there. Then once you get it, say you want there, and let's increase that blur, but maybe it's a bit too much. So now we're going to bring that blend down a little. You know, you can adjust that. So anyway, the point of what I want to use this for is for zooming. So let's keyframe some of this. Let's get everything set back the way it was. Alright, so I'm going to select it from this point here. Make sure that we have the right thing selected. I'm going to come to here. I'm going to come to right about here. This is the point where I'm going to zoom in fully to, and then I'm going to select my blur, maybe some anamorphism, the highlights. So now what I want to do is I want to increase that blur and give it some anamorphism. The whole point of this is when we zoom in, it's going to make it a little more impactful. So now we're going to bring that down. Remember, we keyframed all that, so those keyframes automatically come in. I'll just bring that down, and let's see what we have. So as you can see, it really slowly did that. I just want to take a moment to introduce myself. If we haven't met already, my name is Chad. I make DaVinci Resolve tutorials and systems and processes which will help you streamline your workflow. This way you can focus on your business growth. If I'm helping you out in this video with this information, please help me out by giving me a like and subscribe. It'll really help out the channel and I appreciate it very much. Normally I would start on the edit page, do the zoom in before I would do something else. I just wanted to show that up front. So let's get started here. So now we can find a point of defocus here. It's right about there. So I'm going to marker there, this way I know where that's at. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my adjustment on the adjustment clip, but above that I have what I call an alignment clip, which is extremely useful. And as I said at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to make this so it can really help you zoom in correctly. So on the inspector, I need to give my effects, and then I'm going to adjust this here. Here. So I'm just going to align that with my eye. That's where that is, and I'm going to check where am I at the beginning. So as you can see, I was very close on the eye. So right around the beginning, it's going to be there. That's good. So let me come back to my marker, and then I'm going to use my adjustment clip, and this is where I make my zooms. So I'm going to zoom in to say about here. Let's move this down. Right over here, I can bring this back up, get back to my marker. Let's keyframe these, and then we're going to come all the way back here, and we're going to bring them back to where they were. So we're at 1. My alignment clip is off. So now we're going to look at this with the defocus and that and see how that goes. All right, so right there, as you can see, once that defocus starts coming in there a little bit stronger, you could throw up some text or something there, but it'll help bring in the impact of that. So the next thing I want to show you that DaVinci Resolve 19 has is when you click here. Now we can make this adjustment here on the edit page. We don't have to do it in Fusion or something like that. So if we just need to make like a minor tweak to smooth this out, we can easily do that right here. So anyway, that's going to need some fine tuning to be able to do that. Okay, so now I want to show you the point of this, the alignment clip, how to make it, and why that's so impactful when it comes to zooms and things like that. All right, so let me bring this back onto another clip over here. So as you can see here, I have this onto my eye at this point, and I'm just going to do, say, a jump in here. Let me take that off so we can see how that would look when it jumps in there. So you see as it just jumps in, which is a pretty cool. We do a lot of jump cuts. If you do a snap zoom and it doesn't line up to the eye, it can make the viewer feel uncomfortable. So we want to make it more impactful by making it line up correctly. So let's see where it actually lands. So you can see the eye is a little bit different there. So we want this to match exactly there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that, and I'm going to readjust this just ever so slightly, bring it down, so that way the zoom jumps in exactly where that's at. As you can see there. Let's show you the after and then the before. So here's the after. That's the jump in where it belongs. And now let's look at what it was before. You can see there's a little bit of difference, but that can be very powerful when you're doing any of your zooms. So I really suggest you learn how to use this, and let's make one. So what we need to make one of them is we're going to bring an adjustment clip. I have everything in mind set up in PowerBin, so I can just drag it and drop it. However, I will teach about that in the future. Toolbox, we're going to click on here, and we need an adjustment clip. So let's take an adjustment clip, or if you have it in your favorites, you can easily find your adjustment clips there. Okay, so once we have our adjustment clip here, next thing we need to do is go to Open Effects. Open Effects, we type in Grid. We're going to drag that and just drop it right onto our adjustment clip. Change our column or row cells. We only need 2. Column cells, I'm only needing 2. I mean, you can use as many as you want. Then we can adjust the width. I like to make it nice and thin. So there we go, we have that. Now we can adjust, this is for the side and side, up and down. But why don't we zoom it out? That way you can make it a little bit smaller, and then you can readjust your width from there. Make your line thickness however you would like. And from this, now all you have to use is pan and tilt. Remember, bring the adjustment clip here, grid under open effects, drop it on there, and then under here we have effects. You go under effects, and this is where you can transform everything. So we need 2 is good for there. Adjust that and whatever color you want. So maybe you want to do some special color. I just use white. And then pan and tilt. And then that's how you create an adjustment clip with that. So what I would do is in your media setup, whatever you have, just go ahead, drag that in there, and then rename that. I'm sorry, you just click underneath of it here, and then put alignment. So now, anytime you need to use your alignment clip throughout there, all you do is just come up here, drag it down, you put it here, you get your next adjustment clip, bring it here, and now you can use this to create your zooms. So that's how you use the defocus to make your zooms more impactful. If you want to learn more things about DaVinci Resolve, YouTube recommends you watch this video. According to their algorithm and your watch habits, they think that will be the best thing for you. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.